As if this nightmare of a world of a life couldn't get any more crazy or horrific or dystopian. The demons at large says, "Hold my beer. We're gonna make this world a hell of a lot more shitty." Disembodied human brains. Disembodied human brains being kept alive for drug tests. But the question is, are they conscious? A startup company revives brains from the deceased to test treatments for Alzheimer's and Parkinson's. Are you JKing me? Dead people's brains. A startup company revives brains from the deceased to test in a development straight out of a science fiction movie or book. A Connecticut-based startup called Bexorg, BEXORG, is using technology to maintain functioning human brains outside of the body for extended periods of time. Brains, all right? These disembodied organs, sourced from recently deceased donors, are being employed to test experimental drugs aimed at neurodegenerative diseases. The work has ignited fresh debate. Could these brains possess some form of consciousness? Are they alive? How do you have... all right, how is a brain dead, but it's alive? It's like, you know when they have someone in a coma, they're comatose, they're like a vegetable, they call them? They're alive, but they're a vegetable, they're kind of dead, but they're alive. I mean, how does that even work? It's either it's alive or it's not, right? Not alive, but not dead. That's what they're saying, according to one post on Twitter X. Not alive, but it's not dead either. Disembodied human brains used for drug testing by restoring some functions to intact brains from dead donors. The startup Bexorg hopes to create a better drug development test for neurodegenerative diseases. Science! Trust the science. The company's Brain X system pumps synthetic blood through the brain's vascular network, delivering oxygen, chemtrailed oxygen I might add, and nutrients while maintaining appropriate temperature and conditions. Fake blood or synthetic blood with nutrients and chemtrailed oxygen into these deceased people's brains. This allows the brains to remain metabolically active for up to a day, 24 hours, or even more sometimes, they say. You know, they're happy. They're like patting themselves on the back. Hey, man, we'll keep this dead brain alive for 24 hours or so we could shoot it up with drugs, you know, because you're a guinea pig when you're alive. You're a guinea pig when you're dead if you are a donor. And so it's supposedly this process provides a realistic platform for observing how drugs interact with human neural tissue at a cellular and molecular level. Yeah, I feel like I'm in a Twilight Zone. I've said that before. I mean, it's actual insanity. Unlike traditional animal testing or lab-grown organoids, these intact human brains carry decades of real-world exposure to medications, environmental factors such as chemtrails and fluoride in the water, etc., and the aging processes. These brains are just like a history of all the things they had to endure and encounter from the beast system. The chemtrails, the big pharma, the GMOs, the fluoride in the water, the crap to tap water. So these scientists are studying these brains and going, what has this brain been through the entire life of this person? And they're studying the tissues, they're studying molecular structures, studying how did the environment and everything impact the brains, right? So, I mean, they're going, let's see how our chemtrails did on the brain. Let's see how our GMOs and our big farmers did on the brain. It's insane. They're studying these human brains for decades of real-world exposure to toxins, basically. Environmental factors, aging, cigarettes and all this stuff that people smoke. Who knows what else? But they're studying the brain to see what effect has it had on the brains of all this shit, toxins. Bexorg founder, should I try to pronounce this? Zvonimir Verzaja has emphasized the advantage. Cells that have existed for 60 to 80 years offer insights far beyond simplified models. Can't just make this stuff up, can you? The science report notes that this approach has already yielded practical results. Pharmaceutical firm Biohaven used the data from Bexorg's brains to advance a drug targeting energy deficits in deceased brains. In one case, a Parkinson's treatment that failed in mice showed promise at much lower doses in the human brains. They like using the drug. They love the drugs, don't they? Huh? They're even testing it on brains after a person died that donated. It's just sick sons of bitches, aren't they? But it's all for your safety and your health. Don't worry. They got your best interest at heart, don't they? This is crazy. The core ethical tension revolves around conscious. Bexorg maintains that the brains lack the coordinated neural activity necessary for even minimal awareness. To ensure this, they administer the anesthetic propofol. So they gave these brains. They're like this company, from what it sounds like, Bexorg says, "Oh, it's not alive. This has no conscience. Listen. We have administered an anesthetic propofol, which suppresses electrical signaling. Yet the very act of restoring cellular functions in an intact human brain forces a confrontation with what consciousness truly is." On one hand, they're saying it's not conscious. They're saying that that they administer an anesthetic propofol, whatever the hell that is, suppressing electrical signaling of the brain. And then in the next breath, no one knows. No one knows. They're just like, which way do you go, George? You went that way. I mean, Bexorg maintains that the brains lack coordinated neural activity necessary for even minimal awareness. So it's alive, but it's not alive. And to ensure that it's not alive or conscious, Bexorg gives anesthetic propofol, whatever the hell that is, suppressing electrical signaling. So it sounds to me that they are alive, but they think that if they give this anesthetic of some sort, that if it's not aware, in theory, they think that giving this anesthetic propofol, which suppresses electrical signaling, will make sure that it's not aware. I mean, what the fuck? This is them playing God. That's what this is. Yet again, play God with the weather, play God with the food, play God with this, play God with that, play God with brains. I mean, my God, I know we ain't seen nothing yet. God knows. God only knows what the hell's underneath our feet in these dumbs, deep underground militarized bases, right? And Plum Island, and what's going on at CERN, etc. ITER. The development arrives amid growing scientific interest in the nature of the mind. Researchers have theorized that our brains may actively construct the universe we perceive. Perception is reality. I mean, is that what that's saying? Suggesting that consciousness plays a fundamental role in reality itself. I guess you have to be awake and have conscience. I mean, I guess that would be a fundamental role in reality, wouldn't it? Right? I mean, if you're asleep, you're not conscious, are you? Right? You're unconscious. You're asleep. Or if you get knocked out. So you're not aware of your surroundings and the reality around you, things going on. But when you're conscious, you are aware of what's going on, right? So, I mean, yeah, I guess our brains may actively construct the universe we perceive. I mean, perception is reality. Where are they going with this? The bottom line is, with all this gibberish that these articles have, are these dead brains fucking conscious to an extent? How is it alive but not alive? Others may argue, well, if the person's dead, to be absent from the body, I mean, in the Bible it says to be present with the Lord. I guess you meet your maker, it might be temporary, but you're going to be meeting your maker, it might be temporary. I don't know, what do you have to say about this, bitch? You guys are the experts on this, and it's not me. It's just, it's creepy, it's weird. It's weird. They're testing new drugs to see for Alzheimer's and Parkinson's on dead brains, and they're suppressing the electrical activity to make sure that it's not conscious. But the question is it conscious? And no one really knows. I mean, maybe Lou Ferrigno knows. And still they say that, complicating all this, evidence has come forth that consciousness may persist beyond clinical death. Consciousness may persist beyond clinical death. So are these brains alive? Are they, I mean, if they have active brain cells and they're able to test drugs on them, wouldn't that suggest that these brains are alive? And if they're alive, wouldn't they have conscience of some sort? I don't know. This is weird. But here's another weird thing I want to share with you. A scientist trained lab-grown human brain cells to play Doom. I think I covered this a while back, but it bears repeating. It bears Doom is very apropos, is it not? Because we're doomed. These jackoffs are playing God with everything. So it's very fitting that they would actually grow human brains and then train the cells. I mean, grow human brain cells and then train them to play Doom. Yeah, we're doomed, all right. I played Doom on Super Nintendo back in the day, and it was fun, but playing it too long, I started getting a sinking feeling. Seriously, when I played the game Doom, it was fun, but the more I played it, the more sinking feeling, like I couldn't explain it, like gloom, depression, the more I played it, so I stopped playing it. Another thing about Doom, as a side note, the back of the box says, "You're on Mars." What did it say? It's the year blah blah blah. You're on Mars fighting demons. Didn't say aliens. It said demons. That should tell you something. There's no such thing as aliens. If you see an alien, it's probably gonna be a demon. But anyway, I wanted to leave you with that. This is insane. For the Doom brain cells, the brain cells playing Doom, using around 800,000 living neurons in a dish interface with silicon chips. Brain neurons interface with silicon chips. The cells learn to navigate, shoot, and respond to the game's 3D environment through electrical feedback. That's scary. Brain cells, not even an actual brain. They train brain cells. 800,000. I don't know how the hell you count that. What do you think? 1, 2, 3. Who counts that? But somehow it's 800,000 living neurons in a petri dish or dish. And it was interfaced with silicon chips. Again, meshing. They constantly want to mesh man with machine, with technology. Constantly playing God. 800,000 living neurons. They put it in a dish, interface with silicon chips, and the cells, not even actual, like, how much is our head weighs? About 8 pounds. The brain weighs what? 3 pounds, 4 pounds? I don't know, something like that. But I'm saying, it's not even actual brain doing this, which would be scary and shitty in and of itself. It's just cells, neurons, 800,000 in a dish, interface with silicon chips, and it learns how to navigate the world of Doom. OMG. I mean, if this is what they're doing, and they're letting us know that they're doing this with brains and brain cells, God knows what they have behind the scenes that they have yet to unleash on the world. Oh, I'm going to stop right there. There's so much more to it, but you know what? That's the gist of it. It's sick. It's sickening. And like I've been saying, these demons, well, we need an exorcism of all these demons in this world, and it's not going to stop until it stops. That's what I got for you. Don't be a troll out there. I am ooped.